Welcome to the first of the 2026 tasks for the students at the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland on the Production Technology and Management Year 1. Slightly different this year that I need you to visit and have worked through the prescribed topics in showvector.com by Mark Doubleday. I have a quick, there's showvector.com. I will have given you, there's a login here. Login there. I will have given you a login, and there are lots and lots of things there, starting work, types of objects, organization. So I need you to work through the things that I will have told you about in Teams and in the class before starting any of these topics. Do not launch into these topics by rushing the show vector part. It's really important to get the basics right and get a solid foundation before we go on. We use this tool for all of our production planning, so you need to know how it works. Once you have completed the tasks, email the completed task to me before continuing to the next task. Okay, so we'll just jump over to a blank. You can go to File, New, Blank Sheet if you like, and start in a new file. If you have an outline of a page or something here with some grid lines in it, then we can get rid of that by going to File, Page Setup, and we want to make sure that the uncheck Show Page Boundary, Show Page Breaks, Show Watermarks, they're all unchecked. If you uncheck this one, it'll uncheck the other two, because we just want a blank canvas. So if you see anything on your page, like an outline of a page or the watermarks, then that's where you get rid of it. So File, Page Setup. Likewise, if you have a grid showing on your page, it's double click up in the snappings here, and we can see that there's grid options to the snap grid and a reference grid here, and then we can either show the grid or not show the grid. So I would say not to show the grid at the moment. So the task is to write your name in a couple of different ways. I want you to use the polyline tool, which is this tool over here. Again, you will have definitely gone through that in show vector. So choose the polyline tool, the straight line mode here. And by just clicking, we're just going to do it fairly freehand here, kind of down. I'm going to do an S. If I hold down Shift, I can lock the anything that's a little bit squinty to, my S is going to be terrible. Never mind, we're going to go, just going to square that off roughly. So it's not great, but it's an S, it's a recognizable S. So the really important thing is that when it's selected, so I choose the selection tool, make sure, so I click off it, there's no selection here, and I click on the line, and it's a polyline. So we can see it's a polyline, it has a position in space, and it is, and most importantly, closed there. That's really important. What I want you to do is to color your letters. So I want you to kind of select it. The solid color is white there. If we click on the white part there, you might see only well, I've done some stuff on this before, but you might only see black and white in your active document. So that's just telling you the colors that are in the document at the moment. If you want to go to classic Vectorworks colors or standard Vectorworks colors, or even explore other palettes here, you can do, that's fine. But I want you to go to classic Vectorworks colors, choose a color, and that will apply it. So with the S selected, and then we change the color, it applies that color to the S. I also want you to go to the pen tool, and we can change that color as well. Currently it's black. I might want to make it red, and I might want to make the thickness a little thicker. So there's showing that we can select an object and then manipulate. If I select on it, then it sees the solid fill color and the pen color and the pen thickness. If I click off it, I'm not showing the information. I'm not showing the information of the S, if that makes sense. So go along and do your other letters using the polyline tool. If you have a letter in your name, such as an O, so I'll just move this over a little bit. I will choose the circle tool. I'm going to choose the diameter mode, and we'll just do an O here, then you're going to want to punch out the middle of the O. You want to get rid of that. Again, you should have covered this in Show Vector. I'm just going to do it very roughly there. I'm going to draw two circles there, and I want to punch this middle one out of the one at the back, if you like. That's at the front, that's at the back. If for some reason you draw these the wrong way round, so you can draw these the wrong way around. I draw a small circle and then I draw a bigger circle. You'll notice that the order that we draw them in matters, that the bigger circle has ended up on top of the smaller circle, so my punch through won't work. Don't worry, all is not lost. You can modify and send the big circle to the back, so you can rearrange the stack in order if you want, but it's much better to pay attention in the order that you draw things. In order to punch holes in objects, we're going to use the 2D tools. I need to select both these objects, go to Modify and Clip Surface. So Clip Surface uses the top 2D object to punch a hole, like a cookie cutter, punch a hole in the second object. So that object still exists. I need to move it out of the way to see the hole, and then I can delete that object. Now with this object selected, I can choose another color, and you can see that it's got a hole in the middle of it. Select it again to see the yellow, and then we'll change the pen color to something hideous, blue, and we'll just leave it thin. Can't really see it there very well. We'll make it a little bit thicker. You can see it's a blue color. Okay, so that's what I want you to do. That is task one. Task one is to write your name. If you have a very, very short name, write some more letters. Just make sure you've done the various different methods using the polyline tool, or you can use some of the geometric shapes there and add and subtract things from each other. So go into those two there and modify add surface. We'll add the two of them together, or we'll go back using Command Z, modify clip surface. We'll punch out a little, so there's a very, very horrible U shape. So you can, I want you to use both the polyline tool and some geometric shapes to make your name, then email them to me. Thanks very much. Enjoy.